I call to order the Newman City Council regular meeting, March 28, 2023. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the invocation. Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. Good evening. I come to you this evening just to lift up the city of Newman, how blessed we are. Things are going in a fashionable way to where we're taking care of business and we're keeping this city strong. So come with me in prayer. Father God, we just thank you so much for your loving kindness and guidance. Clear all our heads this evening so that we can take care of the business of the city and do the things that needs to be done. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Roll call.
Councilmember McDonald?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Ball?
Here.
Councilmember Tomlinson?
Here.
Pimentel?
Here.
Mayor Graham?
Here. Nothing to report from the closed session meeting. Any declarations of conflict of interest tonight? None. Item 6, ceremonial matters are none. Item number 7, items from the public, non-agenda items. Anybody wishing to speak tonight? No? You guys just here for the meeting? Number 8, consent calendar. Waive all readings of ordinance and resolutions except by title. B, approval of warrants. C, approval of minutes of the February 28, 2023 meeting. D, adopt resolution 2023 and next to number, a resolution approving the local transportation fund claim for fiscal year 2022, 2023. Other purposes and authorizing the finance director to execute the same on behalf of the city of Newman. E, adopt resolution 2023 next to number, a resolution nominating the candidate to represent Stanislaus County on the San Joaquin Valley Air Pollution Control District Governing Board. F, adopt resolution 2023 next number, a resolution opposing initiative 21-042A1.
I move that we accept the calendar.
Hang on one second. I'm going to open up the public for any comment on this item.
You in a hurry?
All right. Seeing none, now I'll bring it back to council for action.
I move that we accept the consent calendar for this week.
Second.
We have a first and second. Going to vote electronically. Motion carries 5-0. Item number 9, A, adopt resolution 2023 next number declaring the existence of a public nuisance under ordinance number 281 mistletoe abatement. Catherine, good evening.
Thank you, Mayor. The, excuse me, the item before you is to declare, hold a public hearing and declare a public nuisance for 8 properties remaining on our mistletoe abatement list. We sent out several notices, finally with a notice of public hearing. So residents had a chance to come in tonight and voice their objection or opinion or just speak on the subject. Mistletoe is an evergreen parasite that grows on the trees. It will eventually kill a tree, and so we survey the community in January, and including the city trees and anything within the city limits, and then we give notices to all the residents to remove the mistletoe. We do have an ordinance stating that we have the authority to do that. We sent the notices out in January to 48 properties, and we gave them a notice to abate. And then it informs the property owners about all the procedures and their options and their right to object. And then a lot of the property owners remove it at that time. As you can see, we sent out 48 letters and we have 8 remaining. Finally, on March 2nd, we sent out 15 letters saying that here's your notice of public hearing and we're going to abate your property, which means we will hire someone and we will have the mistletoe removed and then we will bill that property owner. We call two different tree people, companies, and we get different quotes. We go with the low bidder as long as they're responsive. And then as a result of that, we had 7 more people remove the mistletoe. Some of the remaining, and I don't know which ones exactly, but they will call and say, I just want the city to do it, because sometimes it's cheaper in the long run because we may get better prices, or they just don't want to fuss with it. I'll take any questions and we can conduct the public hearing.
Any questions?
Oh, one last thing, I've provided a list of the 8 abated properties tonight for the record.
Copy, thank you. Any questions?
No.
All right, I'll go up for public comment. Seeing none, I'll bring it back to City Council for action.
Okay, I move to adopt resolution number 2023 declaring the existence of a public nuisance under ordinance number 281 mistletoe abatement.
I'll second that.
You have a first, second, go and vote electronically. Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 10, regular business. A, adopt or report on downtown market events at the downtown plaza. Ally, good evening.
Good evening, Mayor, Council Member. The City of Newman, along with the Chamber of Commerce, requests exclusive use of the downtown plaza, both the east and the west side of the plaza, for 4 consecutive months, all the way until the Fall Festival. A map of the event has been provided where booths have been located. The same map will be turned to the Stanislaus County for review. No alcohol will be allowed at the market, and we will provide some type of performance or performer at this market. We are now doing the following requests. Request exclusive use of the downtown plaza, waiving standards for downtown events and for cleanup deposit, insurance reduced to $1 million, and also adding the city as an additional insured. Traffic and crowd control listed in the standards also restrooms and electrical waived. The event will now be 4 months long, only the first Fridays of the month, to allow the downtown to have some good entertainment, as well as not tire the community out too much as well, and make it a longer period of events as well. Like I said, this will take part only the first Friday of each month, all the way up until the Fall Festival. Fall Festival will take over in September. We will do first Friday, May, June, July, and August. With that, I can answer any questions y'all may have.
Any questions? I'll open up to the public. Bring it back to council. Or bring it back to council for action.
I move to approve the report on the downtown market events at the downtown plaza.
A second.
First and second, go and vote electronically.
Thank you.
Motion carries 5-0. Thank you, Ally. All right. Item number 11, items from the District 5 Stanislaus County Supervisor. He cannot attend tonight. Item number 12, items from the city manager and staff.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. A couple of things to report out. We did have a planning commission meeting this past month. At that meeting, the planning commission certified a CEQA document, a mitigated negative declaration for the Caton Ranch annexation project. For those of you who are not familiar with that, Caton Ranch is a 20-acre parcel on the southern limits of town, adjacent to Prince Road, just south of Canyon Creek, across from where they're currently building or putting in infrastructure to build houses. So we only looked at this point in time, they only looked at the annexation to see if that was a suitable spot for moving forward. The planning commission on a 4-1 vote voted yes, that they thought that was a good, logical and orderly extension of our boundaries. And so they're making that recommendation to the city council. That will probably come before the council, and I'm anticipating this summer. But there's still some onerous on the project applicant to do a few more things before it gets to you. So when it gets to you, it'll be packaged up. the annexation, a development plan on how they're going to develop, what the houses are going to look like, what the lot layout's going to be. So it'll be a full project for you to look at. So the applicant will have to submit some more information, go back to the planning commission, get them to approve the development plan. And then ultimately we'll package that all up and bring that to you along with the pre-annexation agreement for you to decide on if that's an orderly and logical spot to expand the city boundaries.
Michael,
Yes.
I don't recall how many homes would possibly be on those 20 acres.
On that 20-acre site, when we did the environmental review, because they did a preliminary plan, we're looking at about 112 lots.
Thank you.
The second component, and kind of a good and bad for me. So the good is this is my last one. The bad is I got to go through another housing element, which is, for any of you who have ever gone through a housing element, it's a state project that you spend a whole bunch of money to put into a little document, and then you put it up on the shelf, and then 7 years from now we'll do it again. Unfortunately, the ones we did before were about $40,000. Well, the state has made the process so onerous now, it's going to be close to $250,000 to do this thing. So we're working with the group that did our last three based upon their experience in the city and some of the other things out there. So that'll come back before you to approve at your next meeting. Another great idea the state has, Catherine and I were on a call this week because the state thinks it's probably a good idea if the city extends a water line out to Martin's Mobile Home Park at River Road, which is about 3 miles away and currently underwater. But they would like us to serve them water. And they did a feasibility study, and it said, it's going to take the water 7 days to get there. They don't even use that much water. So we've, on multiple occasions, Catherine and I have both notified the state that we're not interested in extending a water line out there. We have some serious concerns about extending a water line out there. Who's going to maintain it? Who's going to guarantee we're going to get payment? How are we going to protect against contamination and all the like? So they're really adamant about us doing it. And so David said, well, this is a multi-year kind of thing. So we said, well, we won't say no yet, but just know we have some very serious concerns. And at this point in time, you're going to have to convince us that it's the right thing to do. So Lou had a great idea. He just said, if they just pay off our $10 million well and tank, then maybe we'll think about it and build infrastructure out there.
How did they get their water now?
They have their own private well.
Yeah.
I see.
So they only have their own private well. So they call it a little community system. But they have contamination, and where they're at. And so they don't want to maintain that system. They want a certified operator and a certified system to provide that services out there instead of having a bunch of little systems around. So they want to put all the onerous on us, obviously. So. We are continuing to work with the landowners out in Phase 2 of the Northwest Newman Plan. Phase 2 would be pretty much the residential portion of the Northwest Newman Plan. They've indicated to us they want to start having some discussions about possibly bringing that in so they can start planning for the future. As you know, we've talked about this before. We have 106 lots at Prince Road that are under construction. We have 10 lots across from the skate park. And that's really all that we have in our inventory right now. So, depending on where you look at it, that could be anywhere from 18 months to 3 years of inventory. And so even if Northwest Newman annexed tomorrow, it would probably take them 3 years to get infrastructure there, get their plans approved, and get all the like done. So it's probably in the city's best interest to kind of continue to look at, okay, where's our next phase of housing going to go? Start planning that now and making sure that we're getting what we want and dictating what that's going to look like as opposed to just being in a panic later because we don't have anything. So we're still in some discussions phases on that. So LGI, as I talked about, I think they're hopeful that they're going to start possibly putting some sticks up like later summer. Like with most people, what you're seeing with ARCO, there's no electrical equipment anywhere. There's no transformers. People are not able to power up their projects. ARCO wanted to be done in October, and they're still waiting to be able to power up their project. So, the poor owner's sitting there with millions of dollars in the ground right now and no way to get any of that back. Which leads me into the next one. If you haven't heard, school district has a similar situation. They're not getting any electrical equipment, so they cannot power up their pool filters and stuff. Their pool's not even, originally I think they were talking about being done in February. Now they're looking mid to late July before that pool will be done. So in all likelihood, there's not going to be a swim season this summer. You can't run one for 2 or 3 weeks, right? So anyways, so they're challenged as well. Their contractors challenged as well with getting the electrolyers and some of the other things that are necessary to build something. In this particular case, the high school pool. So, and that's all that I had for the council.
Thank you, Michael. Ali, welcome back.
Good evening again, council members and mayor. For my part, basketball has ended. Our season is officially over. It was a quick one. We had some troubles in our scheduling, but overall, we're able to have a basketball season this year. Next year, we will prepare a little bit more and try in an effort to get a full 8 weeks, full season. We do currently have Kajukembo still available for anybody that's interested. If you guys have any brothers or sisters or interested, come on out there. Adult volleyball will end this week, and we do have our men's basketball open gym. So not necessarily just men's, but open gym is available on Sundays in the afternoons at YOLO Gym. Now, I did put one of these in front of your guys' desk. It's a flyer for our downtown market. Our applications will all take place downstairs at State Farm at the chamber. They will be responsible for taking in applications, and then we will meet together to see who's applied and what's going on. So if you guys can help us spread the word to the community, this will be going out to our social media networks and sites as well. If you know anybody interested, shoot them my way, shoot them down to the chamber, and we can help them out. With that, I may answer any questions y'all have.
Thank you, Ali.
Thank you.
Chief Richardson,
I do not have anything to report tonight, but I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
any questions?
Nothing of a financial nature to report.
I have exciting news to report. Tomorrow, the Canal School Inyo Surface Improvement Project is going out to bid. So yay. So there's going to still be some inconvenience over the next few months while that project is constructed. There's going to be a lot of traffic control out there and some inconvenience. And so we're explaining, and we'll be notifying residents and have signs out all the way where Canal School comes in, off of 33 all the way out on Hills Ferry. We're going to be doing a lot of traffic control and notifying everyone ahead of time, so we are warning them to kind of stay out of that area. And then the rest of the projects, we're waiting for weather to clear up. We're going to have Highway 33 Inyo intersection improvements. That'll be starting anytime. We're doing submittals right now. Then we've got news. That project, we're waiting for it to dry up enough to get out there, but that's been awarded. We'll be opening bids early April on the wetland project, which is the second project on the NCCA. And you'll be seeing that to award it if we get some good bidders. We have several plan holders. And we're just trucking along. And I'll take any questions if anybody has them.
I have a couple questions.
Sure.
It is great that you're letting Lucas Ranch know about that particular area that's going to be under construction, because that's a high traffic area that the residents live over there, and it's great that you're letting them know in advance.
Yeah, we'll be warning them that they'll have to come out a different way when Canal School's under construction. So, yeah, it's gonna be inconvenient, but the end result's gonna be, really be worth it. We just ask for everybody's patience a little
One
longer.
other question is that I notice, and if you live here in Newman, you notice it too, that during the school days, down Highway 33 to where we're going to make that road into a one-way going into Hartstone, name of the street is just slipping my mind.
Jensen?
Jensen is the street that we're gonna work on, but going into the development, the homes, that traffic backs all the way back up in terms of people trying to come up out of there. And I know that we talked about putting some type of stop sign or stoplight up there at some point in time. And in saying that, traffic comes through there, those trucks. I mean, if someone makes a mistake and come out there and those trucks will come, those big rigs coming through there, someone's gonna get badly hurt because they'll be going.
So we have the highway-specific plan, which covers that intersection. And there are traffic calming devices proposed for there that will include pedestrian accommodations for pedestrians. And so, I mean, Michael and I are always working towards getting funding, because it all comes down to how much money do we have. And then it also, because of that intersection is controlled by Caltrans, it depends on what Caltrans wants to see there and what they approve to go there. And so that intersection's always on our mind, and I know PD patrols that area as well to try to keep people slowing down. And so we just have to let everybody know to be careful, because there's not any immediate project in the books, but it is identified as a future project. And so as we work our way through all these funding sources, we develop these projects. That's already a developed project. I mean, it's already identified on several plans, and that's how you start then going after funding. And so that's on the radar.
Yeah, because still, the Orston students are still, some of them are still using that road to get to school. And I noticed that the traffic is, like I said, is backed up to the point where even those kids, it's not safe sometimes for them to take that road, but they do. And I think that that's something that we need to keep in mind.
So that part of the project where you turn left off of 33 onto Jensen Road, from that part of the intersection all the way to Fig is under design now, which will include a walking path. It'll be a temporary walking path until that area is fully developed. But we are actually, we have the engineers designing that now, because we'll take water, sewer, storm. We'll underground that ditch, put a path over it, and then make that 2 drive lanes. And it'll be, we're trying to get it right to where when we install something there, that we don't have to rip it out when development does happen. And so it's in design now for that piece of it. There's nothing happening on the other side on Sherman Parkway where cars are stopping there or in the actual intersection.
Are we involved with Caltrans in reference to designing something for a stop sign or stoplight?
No, not yet. But it's in the highway-specific plan, and it's identified on our transportation plan. And so it's going to depend on, just like getting a signal at Highway 33 Inyo, that we're going to be able to put the infrastructure in, but Caltrans, there's not enough warrants there to actually put the traffic signal in. And so as we grow and more traffic comes through, then Caltrans says, okay, you guys are ready. Now we have the infrastructure in there, go ahead and put the signal in. So that'll be another project, another funding source that we have to navigate. And then, so it's a process. And I could tell you today that, we may not see anything in that intersection for 3 to 10 years. It just depends on the funding, the traffic, and just working our way through the process.
Thank you, Cash.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Catherine.
You're welcome.
Chief Bowen?
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor, Council. Just a few things. I was able to participate in the Oristimba senior interviews yesterday and today, so it was a great opportunity. It's good to see the kids coming out of our high school. So if you ever get a chance, that'd be something I'd recommend to somebody. But also this weekend, we'll be doing our basic pump ops class. So we'll be out Saturday out in the industrial area by the pallet yards out there, kind of pumping and training our newer guys on how to run those fire engines. So we'll have drivers for this summer. So that's a 2.5-day class kind of thing. So if you see us out there, you'll know what we're doing. We got an Explorer orientation coming up. That'll be April 6th at 6 p.m. We're going to be using the Crow's Landing Fire Station. It's located at 22012 G Street in Crow's Landing. So anyone of high school age that lives in our community, they're more than welcome to come out. We'll talk about what the Explorer program is. We'll give them applications and all that day too. The Newman Firefighters Association is going to have their pancake breakfast Saturday, April 8th. So we encourage everyone to come on down. It's going to be at the Louis J. Newman Hall Memorial Building there by the skate park. They're going to have a silent auction, and it's always a good time. You get to see your local firefighters and have a good breakfast. We did assist Patterson, it's really West Stand Fire. It was rural Patterson area on a commercial structure fire today about Highway 33 and Fruit area. It's an old abandoned, I think it was a recycling oil company out there. So they had some squatters in there, it sounds like. And so our guys were out there helping out. The rivers and creeks look good. Oristimba's at 5 feet, so that's well below what we've seen in the past. And then the San Joaquin's hovering around 65 feet, and do a half foot up and down throughout the days. But River Road is closed, a hard closure. It's got flooding all the way across the river there, or the road there. So I can answer any other questions you guys might have.
Is the bridge open? Right there, if you don't go River Road, you just keep going right there where forks are, the old steel bridge.
Okay, so yeah, they call it the Hills Ferry Bridge by the Raceway.
open?
No, that should still be closed because we were still seeing flows of 16,000.
Was that right?
Yeah, so that I think their trigger on that was 13?
90.
Oh,
9,300.
Oh, 9,300. So that'll stay closed for some time, yeah.
I noticed we had some type of, what do they call it? Surveyors with a little thing with a rope. Did you have anything to do with that for the stuff, their flows and everything? It was on the news. Did you see it?
I know that they're doing some measurements and stuff out there to make sure they update their flood and warning stages. I know that was talked about. They might get some surveyors out there, and I don't know if something else is going on with the bridge. That would be Public Works, Merced County Public Works would be able to answer something about.
Well, that
the
is
bridge.
Merced County.
Yeah, the
Sorry.
whole bridge is managed by Merced County.
I forgot about that. Oops.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Nothing to add tonight.
Students, Oristimba, let me say this, whether you know this or not. You're living in the #1 city on the west side. That means that you have shoes, big shoes to fill. They're looking at us from all over the county because of how this city is run. So, in saying that, be very proud. Not just going to Oristimba, but you're in a city that's pretty blessed. Thanks for coming this evening.
I have nothing. I have nothing to say tonight. I was just wondering about the bridge.
Nothing.
I'd just like to wish everybody a happy Easter and enjoy your time with your family if you're going out with them, and ask for an adjournment. Anybody?
I move to adjourn.
Second.
All right, thank you guys. You guys, anything signed or anything, come on up.